Hey guys, what's up? And happy searching for your home. So, if you're a first-time buyer, let me help you. Okay, many of you don't know, but just in case you wanted to know, what are some expenses to expect as a buyer when you go under contract? So, without further ado, here we go. So, once the buyer and the seller come to a meeting of the mind where they agree on the price and the terms for that home, the next order of business for or that is expected from the buyer is for the buyer to submit their earnest money deposit. That's right, your earnest money deposit. So that is a deposit, typically 1 to 2% of the sales price of the home. It is expected, I usually write it and negotiate that in the contract 3 days within binding agreement date. That's when all parties have signed and now there is a binding agreement. Then that is when my buyer is going to be expected to make their deposit. And that is a deposit just saying to the seller that we are very serious about purchasing your home, and here's the proof. Then after that, during that due diligence period, the buyer is going to have another expense, and that is to pay for an inspection. That's right. This will be during due diligence where the buyer will hire an inspector to go in and just check out the systems, the main systems of the property. They will go and check out, and the inspector will go do a thorough search of the home and just kind of let the buyer know what type of condition the property is in. And during that time, the buyer can decide whether or not to move forward with the sale of that home or terminate should there be any sort of issues with the home that might be too costly or may not be desirable for the buyer. And in that case, if they terminate during that due diligence, their earnest money that we just mentioned previously should be protected. Then there is a third fee following, providing that the inspections and everything goes well and the buyer does decide to move forward with that property. The lender, the bank will send out an appraiser. And so the buyer will have to come out of pocket for the cost of an appraisal. And the appraisal is the value, it's an opinion of the value of that home based on what the market demands, not what we say as real estate agents or realtors, and it's not what the seller says, it's what the market says, what the market demands. So the appraisal is set out from the lender in order to protect their investment. So in a nutshell, three fees that the buyer, can expect to have to come out of pocket from, beginning of going under contract to the closing table. One, your earnest money. Two, your inspection money. And three, your appraisal money. So in simplest terms, do have some money placed aside for those three said mentioned items. Happy hunting.